has beaten JB to move on to the winners semifinals against Banana Ken. And I think Dual Kevin is listed as a 3-0 over Joey, waiting on the winner of our next match that we're loading in for here, 801 Strider versus Zackbozz. JB going down. I feel like every time I'm watching Street Fighter stuff lately, JB is doing these crazy runs.
Yeah, like JB, it kind of takes a moment for him to really adjust, kind of figure it out. But then once he gets into his stride, you know, he really takes off. And speaking of that, he loses round one. He has quite a mountain to climb. But speaking of mountains, 801 Strider coming off of a fresh tournament victory, going through the gauntlet of Luke's that was TNS. Zackbozz trying to make a potential upset, but man, the throws into the corner, making this 3 throws, 2 throws in a row, and then a command throw to really put you in hard knockdown. And now moving on into the second round already, Strider in full stride.
Yeah, looking really comfortable while doing so. You talk about all those Lukes. I was going to ask, I was like, wait, this is that TNS, right? Where we all saw the photo on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 6 of the top 8 was Luke. Really, everyone buying into all the Ken apologist propaganda people out there that are trying to convince you Luke is better. But, I mean, Ryu, no one's having that conversation about him. 801 Strider has the level 3 available to close this one out from a pretty solid position here. I feel like everywhere Zackbozz chose to try to compete in the mid-range was somewhere where 801 Strider was very comfortable, 1, with the mechanical act of armoring through, and 2, doing it in a comfortable timing.
The armor and the timing is actually something that I was going to speak on, because literally there was a moment to where Zackbozz threw a fireball at pretty safe range, but charged Gladius, fully charged Gladius, not only put him like, you know, half screen after he got hit by it, but the armor allowed him to bypass the fireball and literally put him in that full screen situation. And we see it once again right here, and then being put into the corner, back fears, make him make a move, and of course Shoto's fishing for that low forward and the run-up command grab. Now you're in a guess for game situation against 801 Strider, and okay, we like the punish counter situation, but the double jab into the back fist going to be able to do it right there.
Yeah, I mean, we when we were speaking with 40% earlier, talked a lot about active defense. I feel like in that spot, 801 Strider was an active decision maker in every interaction. When Zackbozz did wake up and make something happen and start to work their way out, it was in a spot where it's not scary for 801 Strider. Now having Zackbozz locked down in the corner, and I love the control that 801 Strider has in that mid-range. Look at how often he is getting Zackbozz to try to stick out a button, especially because obviously that phalanx gets blown up by that standing jab and you get the counter hit confirmed. So Zackbozz is really trying to actively poke. Smoked out by this level 3 though.
Here we go. Corner situation once again here for Zackbozz. 801 Strider, full green stuff on his side right here, trying to coax a move out of him. I love the movement, but Zackbozz not falling for it right here. The perfect parry, and that's going to do it. Even though the damage is scaled, it is Big Shirley, and she is going to put a hurting on you. Already 2-0 for 801 Strider, going up against Zackbozz.
Yeah, Zack needs to find, I think you need to, if you're doing fireballs, it needs to be from a farther out range, but that's scary because, you know, Marisa has a built-in tool to deal with the fireballs. So it almost seems more like Zackbozz needs to do exactly that. Dash in and start to try to play this at a closer range. But 801 Strider's ground control is so solid. Zackbozz is still struggling to move forward. And now in Burnout, there's no way you're ever leaving this wall.
Oh yeah, if you are paying rent in the corner, my friend, and with a full stick of butter, 801 Strider, 1 round away from moving on into winners. And like, man, it's just so difficult because, of course, you want to use meter as Ryu to try to close the gap in these situations, and you want to use like these far-reaching tools like your fireballs and your low forwards and things of that nature. But unfortunately, like, it's costing you meter to do this, and then like you're having to block all these really powerful moves from Marisa, and that's also causing you to lose drive gauge as well. Oh wow.
Okay.
The farthest reaching crouching medium punch. Like, all right, here we go.
There have been a couple of what I've wondered. I'm like, are these combo drops out of 801 Strider? And then in that spot, it's another one where it's like, okay, that was a huge pickup. I'm surprised that you dropped the combo there. 801 Strider with a pretty simple game plan right now of walk forward and make Zackbozz hurt for their life differential. But again, I talked about the degree of ground control out of 801 Strider. It felt like every single time Zackbozz had begun to step forward and try to reclaim some space, there was already a limb there. You can watch it on the replay after. Oh no, the replay is going to cut off too soon. That's a thing that I remember about our replays. The cool part of this isn't going to happen. God damn it. Well, anyway, 801 Strider wins that out 3-0 over Zackbozz. And I feel like Zach sort of needs to go back to the drawing board a little bit with how they're going to approach that matchup.
Yeah, those pokes and confirms from 801 were really, really strong. Like literally, you saw the crouching medium punch from him, and that going into the target combo. I've never seen that confirm in a level 3 before. This is the first thing first time I've ever seen that. So, man, props to him. Like literally, just like understanding that. Playing out of Ryu spacing and literally trying to find a way to kind of bait that out of Ryu to make a decision. Like once he took away the fireball game, it was kind of like, all right, well, you got to kind of play the close-up game with Marisa,